Hi, so I saw this video and I knew that I absolutely have to comment on that. This video is titled Why Insecure Men Withhold Affection. And when I first saw this video, I was like, maybe this video is talking about the psychological aspects of it. So why men withhold affection from women. But if you go on and see this video, just by seeing the person who is presenting, a woman who is showing off one shoulder and trying to be sassy or probably look interesting, has made this whole video as a way of shaming and criticizing men for withholding affection. The start of this video is literally a video which gives the rapey vibes. This woman is complaining about men withholding affection and the idea that women deserve compliments, satisfaction of their ego, fulfillment of their sexual desires, physical desires from the men who don't want to give that. Remember, all of this video could, and you will see this point in action in many places, could be summed up, could have been ended in 5 seconds by saying that if a man is withholding affection from you, you just walk away. But these women want to get into the heads of the other men and want to decide based on their own subjective analysis that which withholding affection is correct and which is not, and then want to shame the men who are withholding affection in their mind for the wrong reasons. But why do you do all of that? If someone is withholding affection from you, and remember, this is not about marriage, this is about all kind of relationships. So if someone is withholding affection from you and you feel like that, you can walk away. Why to get into the reasons why is withholding affection if affection is something that you want? The reason is the reason will become the reason will start to make its effect if you realize that these women who want to shame these other men, want to get their desires fulfilled from these men, then obviously they need this reasoning to shame these men. This is the reason why just walking away will not serve the purpose. If your only concern was, hey, I want affection and I'm not getting it, then walking away is the best option. But if you want to prey on the men, if you want to use them for your fulfillment of your sexually perverted desires, then you want that reasoning in your head to justify yourself, to justify why you can use that man, why that man is wrong for withholding affection and it is not the matter of his choice or his own emotional state. And all of this is subjective. This man has not come out and said that he is insecure and that is why he is withholding affection. These women have decided that he is insecure and he should not withhold affection and he should satisfy other women. Can you imagine? I mean, if this is does not give you a predatory vibe, I don't know what will give you. And in the society, often female rapists and the people who have women who have this rapist mentality, the cases of them are pushed under the rug. But you will notice that this is a lot more common than you can think. Let's start this video and see all of this in action.
Absolutely devastating watching a baddie start a whole
The moment she starts with a baddie, you know that this woman is of a loose character. Well, let's go further.
ass nonprofit for a man who doesn't realize that he's a charity case. And please
And okay,
believe
let's.
me when I say that this is not about
This
looks.
is clearly about looks. The reason why women say that this is not about looks is because they don't want to be commented on because of their shabby looks. If they look like a pig, or they want to call a woman, and she called this woman 10 by 10 and goddess, and you see her face, and you ask, is this woman 10 by 10 or a goddess? And the funniest thing is, she will talk about the looks of these two people, and women do talk about and judge men based on their looks. But in order to deflect the criticism from them, or to not feel that they are 10 by 10, not 10 by 10, they say that, hey, you have no right to judge me based on my looks. All of this is so that this woman can take looks as a criteria, declare this woman as 10 by 10 based on looks and a goddess. But no one can say that she's not 10 by 10 because you are not allowed to judge a woman based on looks. So every woman can assume or believe that she is 10 by 10 and can use that. Remember, she will justify this to create a theory that essentially means that this woman or any woman can harass, torture, or be toxic to their partner. And let's see that how this disgusting and pathetic mentality of this woman and her audience comes into shape.
This has to do with insecurity and level of investment. The most dangerous people you'll ever meet in your life will always be the insecure ones, and gender doesn't really matter.
So, after making this gender doesn't really matter to show that she's an egalitarian, She'll return back to feminism and show you that she believes gender does matter. Remember, all of this is about a manipulative chain of thought to declare this woman 10 by 10 and to declare men beneath it so she can justify the exploitation of this man by this woman and to justify a sort of shaming of this man when he might be the victim in this scenario. Remember, this is also applicable for the physical satisfaction, which points to where essentially all of this idea is a sort of an side way or indirect way of justifying a relationship which, if not rape, is kind of predatory, creepy. Let's watch this video further.
But in this case, we do have to talk about what an insecure man looks like. Because a lot of people get this confused. Lack of attraction and insecurity are two very different things, but also make no mistake. A person who's extremely insecure will have trouble even being attracted to and showing love and affection to other people.
And if that is something that you are perceiving, then you just walk away unless you have your own desires to fill and fulfill and your own acts to grind. Just think of it. If you see a person who has trouble showing affection to you or to other people, you just don't date that person. I mean, if your desire for a relationship is based on affection, you'll not even approach them. This problem does not arise. But if your desire is to use them sexually for the fulfillment of your own sexual desire, then you will approach them. In that case, you are the predator.
All wrapped up in the fact that they see everything from a lens of insecurity and lack. And especially men in these
So see, from the gender doesn't matter to especially men in these scenarios. And when she's going on and saying these things, you'll notice that gender doesn't really matter. And if it matters, she should not have said that gender does not matter in the initial part. This whole video is a sort of a manipulation. In fact, there's literally no consistency, no principles. And you will see the cases of that going again and again.
Scenarios, they're less concerned with attraction or anything like that, and they're more concerned with creating a hierarchical dynamic.
She will create a hierarchical dynamic, and remember that hierarchical dynamic will be entirely based on looks. You will see her do this, and it will not be even 30 seconds, and she will do that. Because remember, it is not about not having a hierarchical dynamic. It is about complaining about it and then doing that so that you have the ability to show yourself as a victim while you are the one who are exploiting the other person.
Is going to elevate them above you.
She will in 30 seconds she will elevate this woman above this man and then argue that this man should do things in order to reach her level. You will see that.
And these are all the ways in which they're going to do that. I think it's very important for women to realize that insecure men don't sit in a corner and cry. They nag, they pull back, they withdraw, they don't compliment.
And you don't have a right to get compliments.
They avoid physical, emotional, intellectual connection altogether because they're afraid that they're not going to measure up. Meanwhile, you might
see it is coming out. So what she's saying is that they feel that they don't measure up to you, so they don't want to have physical, emotional, or intellectual connection with you. Then you don't have the physical, emotional, and intellectual connection with them. Why do you want to have a physical, emotional, and intellectual connection with a man who doesn't want that connection with you? How are you not a predator? How this scenario is not rapey or creepy, at least, is beyond my comprehension.
be thinking, oh, I'm so ugly, like he doesn't love me.
Which could be
Maybe
true.
I gained weight, I don't look like what he expected me to look like. And you let that take away from your self-esteem, which is exactly what he's hoping will happen. And
See, she's already trying to elevate this woman above this man, or any hypothetical woman above the man.
I need y'all to know I'm really not saying this for no reason. We actually have receipts from a woman on Facebook who says
This is basically about a woman who is complaining about her ex because her ex is now popular and he's on Love is Blind Ohio. The funniest thing about all of this, and you can read this if you want, but I will not cover this, is that she And the women in our audience were just complaining about Zayn coming out and talking about his ex. Just think of it. A normal woman can come out and complain about his ex who has suddenly become popular because he's on Love is Blind Ohio. But a popular celebrity cannot come out and complain about his ex. In that video, all of these women are saying that he should STFU when he's insecure, he's coming out. He chose that relationship. And now, if he feel or he has any regrets, that is his problem. The same case is applied here. Remember, there's literally no consistency here. Can you come out and talk about your ex? The answer is completely dependent on the gender and a factor of things, which makes this whole video or the whole point of it absurd. And this is the reason why I'm telling, and this is important. It's absolutely important for men to come out and call predatory women who were their exes or toxic women. Because remember, what these women and society does is hide these women under and these cases under the rug by saying that people should not come out and complain about their exes. But when the women come out and complain about their exes, it is accepted. Why? Because they need to be pointed out to other women to not get into a relationship with these men. Similarly, there are some women who don't deserve a relationship because of their attitudes. And men should come out and call out these women so that other women can be saved from having relationship with these women. This is the reason why men should not be shy and afraid or feel that they are doing something wrong when they come out and complain about their exes or make a point about their relationship. And this is why Zayn was correct. And all of these women who are trying to shut him down are literally showing you what kind of a creepy person they can become just in order to not have a criticism by a person who was in a relationship and wants to share their experiences. Why they want to attack the truth. There also she's calling Zayn insecure. In fact, insecure is a word women will use in many places because remember, the opposite is secure. And what these women are saying that if you were secure, you will tolerate the toxic behavior of the women or the demands of these women, which is essentially what I told you is predatory philosophy.
My
So
ex
let's
Devo
skip
is
that. This is all absurd.
question. Absolutely incredible levels of delusion
And you will see the incredible levels of delusion. I'll just show you.
and self unawareness. And like I said, first and foremost, it's insecurity.
See,
Fourth,
a term women use in order to justify their men to accept their toxic behavior, men to not put their emotions first, men to not even consider their emotions, and to justify a sort of a predatory relationship in which a woman is exploiting a man.
the most part, if a man feels insecure next to you, he's not going to say, wow, I need to work on myself.
See, see. Now it is fully coming out. Why this man who is in a relationship with that woman needs to work on himself. Let's say that this man is 6 by 10 and that woman is 10 by 10. You'll see her face, you will realize that she is not a 10 by 10. But of course, if she says that she's a 10 by 10, you cannot say that she's not a 10 by 10 because you cannot judge people based on the looks. But she says that this man is 6 by 10. While saying that she's not judging him based on looks, while she is calling him 6 by 10 based on looks alone. Now, just think of it. Why should a person who is in a relationship, let's say a 10 by 10 person approaches a 6 by 10 person and offers to have a relationship with them or wants to have a relationship with them? Does that mean that 6 by 10 person has to constantly prove himself and get to the level of 10 by 10? If the 10 by 10 wants this kind of slavery or toxicity in their relationship, where he's doing this so that the 10 by 10 person can always feel like that person he's or she is elevated above that 6 by 10 person for the satisfaction of their ego, then that person is toxic and predatory and exploitative to begin with. In fact, that person should be or probably would be doing a lot of things that could put that person in a jail. Why, in such cases, that person should be tolerated? In fact, she was complaining about men elevating themselves, but she's trying to elevate that woman and trying to say that he has to reach to that person's level. I mean, if that woman believes that she's a better catch than catch, and she should not date this man, the problem is solved. If a woman believes that some person is beneath, some man is beneath her, which is very hilarious. Just think of it. Women create hierarchies all the time, but they ask men not to create hierarchies. But anyways, if a woman believes that a man is beneath her, then she should not date that person. If she is dating that person, can she expect for the whole of this life of that person that that man or that person should strive to reach her level? I mean, it's absurd. Just think of it. You're using that man for the satisfaction of your ego and your physical desires. Because remember, she talks about physical affection a lot of times. She clearly wants that D. But anyways, let's talk about further.
Going to try and bring you down to his level. And he's going to do it by nagging you in subtle and very difficult to call out ways. He's going
And
to
that is why you walk away. If he's withholding physical affection and you just want that D, you leave that person. Remember, we are not even talking about marriage.
withhold physical affection. He's going to withhold attention in general.
And you really expect that a man's job or a man's duty is to give attention to women based on their terms? I mean, remember, all of this is such toxic behavior. What these women have the idea in their head is that women deserve attention. No, women don't deserve attention. And if they feel that they want attention and they are unable to get it, then they should walk out rather than being a degenerate or a criminal.
The goal is to physically see you start to shrink yourself so that he can then stand next to you and feel adequate.
Remember, she's talking about adequacy, which alone means that she believes that that woman is at a higher level than this man. So she is creating the hierarchy first. That woman is creating the hierarchy first. And then they are complaining when this man is trying to be upset about that hierarchy. This is the real predatory behavior, not what you see generally women complain about.
Once again, I really, really, really want to stress that this has nothing to do with look.
She says this again and again because her looks are also not good. Remember, when you are looking like a pig, you have to specify that umpteen number of times so that when you are putting a man on a giving a man a score based on the looks, you don't look like an idiot. And I can say worse, but let's not say that.
Looks. One of my favorite couples on Love is Blind.
Now she will tell you, give a justification why it is not about looks. But again, she puts it based on looks.
Is Amy and Johnny. Let's be real, Amy is absolutely gorgeous. She's like a 10 out of 10. And looks wise, I mean this very respectfully. Next to Amy, he's kind of just there.
So she judges people based on looks. And she believes that the person that she's talking about is not comparable to Amy based on looks, but just that she's not calling him out. And why she's not calling him out? Because the idea, remember, is about female power, maintaining the female power. As long as Amy is happy and is not complaining, and as long as that person is behaving good according to these women, they will have this look criteria of looks for judgment, but they will not vocalize it. But when they feel that that person is doing something bad, then they will shame that person based on looks. It's basically used as a weapon. Remember, women, it is not that women don't judge men based on looks, or women, when they argue that looks are not everything, they really believe that. They might or they might not. The point is that they want to use that idea of looks as a weapon to be used in the appropriate times. If they believe, like, for example, a man is behaving rudely, they can come out and say, he is below that woman because of his looks. But the question is, if the looks don't matter, why to bring that point in the first place? If the looks were mattered, and the only reason why you were keeping quiet so that you could use it as a weapon on a later date, then you would pretend that looks don't matter. And still, you would judge people silently based on their looks. That is, you will use this point as a tool for manipulation, not just being honest that this person doesn't look good, this person looks good. It is when you feel that the person is challenging you, then you need to point out that the person is ugly. And remember, in your own subjective mind, she clearly believes that she can rank the adequacy of couples based on their looks, but she will call them out only on specific occasions. This is a totally absurd comment. It is like saying that, let's say a person commits a murder. If looks are not important, why would you need to comment on the looks of the murderer? You just comment on the fact that he has murdered and that is bad. Of course, if the looks are important and you judge people based on the looks, you will immediately start judging the murderer based on his looks. This tells you that you were deceiving the people all along, which is exactly the point here.
And I would never talk about them like this because Johnny's not insecure and you can
So
tell.
she will call a man ugly, and she will rank couples based on, and she will rank the adequacy of the couples based on their looks, but she will not talk about it if she feels that the man is not insecure. Uh, this is this is weaponizing looks. She's worse than the people who judge based on looks. She's weaponizing looks. She will only talk about how ugly a man is if that man is not behaving correctly, which means that she judges all men based on their looks. Then why she doesn't come out and say that I judge all men based on their looks? Because she does not want to get judged on based on her looks, and the women don't want to get judged based on their looks. If they don't like a person, man, based on his looks, they will find some other reason to reject that person by saying, I don't feel that you are secure. I don't feel that you are confident enough. But they absolutely judge men based on their looks. You cannot say that you don't judge a person based on his criteria and then take out that criteria and use it in the scenario where when you want to punish that man. Because if a criteria is irrelevant, it is irrelevant in all circumstances. So she will not talk about Amy and Johnny because she's happy that Johnny is doing everything correct. But because this man is not doing everything correct, that is when she wants to to disclose the truth. Remember, she believes the same thing about Amy and Johnny, but she's saying that I will not say or talk about like them in this manner. I'll hide the truth so that I can use that as a weapon when talking about this man. And all for this, all the reason for her self interest.
It shows. He wants to rise to Amy's level and not to bring her down.
See, she believes that Johnny has to work to rise to Amy's level. So there is a hierarchy, and Johnny has to act in order to reach Amy's level. Then why is Amy dating him? She has created a hierarchy in her mind, and she believes that the men who are lower on that hierarchy, remember, this hierarchy is based on looks because she talked about Amy and Johnny and she talked about looks, only looks. But her point is, as long as that man is serving the woman, as long as he is, when he feels bad that Amy is better looking than me, and then he wants to work to improve himself, essentially being treated like a slave or an object, till that time it is correct. So a 10 by 10 woman can go and approach a 6 by 10 man and make his life wholly about trying to rise to her level. But she obviously does not want hierarchy and dominance. And she hates this guy trying to exhibit that. Remember the absurdity and remember the dark nature of hearts of these people when they want to date a man who is lower than them in looks. In looks, and then they use this to demand that that man try to rise to their level, to work on themselves, so that they can feel, they can make that man do things which, remember, otherwise probably that person will not do because this is being done only to rise to the other person's level. They can make that man do certain kind of things for them which are not appropriate in a relationship if that relationship is about mutual love. It's literally trying to prey on on men you believe are uglier than you, so that you can use them as they constantly struggle to rise to your level. This is literally the worst relationship thing you can imagine.
To rise to Amy's level and not to bring her down. This case is the exact opposite. And I'm
Here,
once
that man is confident in himself and believes, just like Amy believes, that she's superior, believes that he deserves more. And this has upset this woman. And she cannot stand it. She cannot stand it that she's not get the women are not getting physical affection. And men are not just giving it. If
again, I'm really, really thankful to see that Brittany is not just taking this at face level.
then this whole video is absurd.
She is pushing, she's
If she's pushing, then she can just leave.
trying to unearth what's at the heart of this. And I'm really glad that she is kind of like holding back on the physical part because she knows what she wants. And so
So whether she wants to be physically intimate with that person, or she doesn't want to be physically intimate with that person. Sometimes in earlier part, she's complaining, this woman is complaining about men withholding physical affection, but now she's talking about the woman withholding physical affection. So is she insecure?
It's making it very easy for her not to overinvest by getting into the endorphins.
Overinvest? Oh no, she would overinvest. She's a 10 by 10, and she will overinvest by getting a man who she believes is lower than that, than her, and then making him struggle to reach her level by using him, by making him do things so that he's constantly worried about reaching to her level and trying to. That is investment according to her. That is not investment. This man is not allowing that woman to manipulate him. And this is the crux of all of this.
Territory, if you know what I'm saying, with a man who is literally not even doing the bare minimum for her.
She's talking about bare minimum, but if it is about bare minimum, why it is about reaching to her level? Then she should say that there is a bare minimum criteria. And if a 10 by 10 woman has gone and started to date a 6 by 10 man, it does not mean that a 6 by 10 man has to reach to her level. Of course, his level is already decided because the 10 by 10 woman approached and started dating that 6 by 10 man.
Her attention wise. And
Oh
what you'll
no, bare minimum attention wise, which means that she's a creepy pervert.
notice with these men is that the difference between them being like hot and cold is either they're in control or they feel out
And she wants the woman to be in control. Remember, she wants to believe that women are higher and want men to struggle to reach to that level.
of control. And so the times that they're going to be the most sort of eager to like get physical with you, you'll notice is going to be the times that you feel the most insecure about yourself.
So if insecure men are problem, insecure women are problem. So in that case, by her point, the women who are being insecure are literally pathetic.
They're never going to hype you up. They're never going to love.
Insecurity is not about other person hyping you up or trying to love you. Remember, this is everything. She believes that for women to not feel insecure, they need to be hyped up and loved, which means that they themselves are not confident that they are at that place, high place. It's all a scam. These women want other women who are probably not even 5 by 10 to feel like 10 by 10, and men to constantly hype them. Why men should hype them up? Because that man might be 6 by 10 or 7 by 10, and they are now in their minds dating 10 by 10. So they are essentially the slaves or the servants. And these women demanding attention and demanding to be hyped up. That is not a point of their insecurity. If they are confident in themselves, why they want to be hyped up? In fact, in this case, she's believing the opposite. She's believing the man is the one who is insecure if he is not hyping up. So she wants to be hyped up, but she's calling that is not because of her insecurity, but it's because of insecurity of the guy. I mean, you realize the absurdity of it. If you are not insecure, why you want to be hyped up?
Love it when you're like feeling yourself because they only like you when you're like a little bit wounded, when you're like a self-conscious because that's how they feel. They're just trying to like co-regulate by bringing you down to their level. And that's really fun.
Bringing you down to their level, which means already she feels that this man is at a lower level. So you see, again and again, she's having this mindset. There's some men who are beneath a woman, and that people who are beneath the women can go and date them and then complain about not getting hyped up to feel like they are 10 by 10.
Fucked up. Anyways, I don't want to look at him anymore, so let's put this goddess back up.
This is the goddess. Pigs like pigs. This is the goddess, according to her. This is the most beautiful woman you will ever see on the planet. 10 by 10, for which that 6 by 10 man should struggle and strive. And now you know why they want her to be hyped up and get attention. So that she can feel like she's a 10 by 10 when she is not. She's literally shaming men to do something, to fulfill their sexual desires for a woman who ranks low, to make her feel like a 10 by 10, for her satisfaction, for her ego. How is this not exploited? These women should be literally in jail. And I cannot say. Uh, this is literally let's not say more things, but imagine they believe, not only believe that men are objects, they go further than that. They know that they are losers, but they want the men to struggle and strive to make them feel like winners, which then they use to target these men. This is more absurd than powerful men, powerful people trying to victimize poor or people on a lower scale, or attractive people taking advantage of unattractive people. This is this is this is literally the example of ugly people who are less deserving, people who are not high on the scale, trying to feel high on the scale, using other people to feel and remain high on that scale, and then complaining that they are being victimized when they are not made to feel like they should be a high on that scale, and then shaming other people for not giving them physical affection, emotional affection, or attention. It is not just rapey. It is rapey, it is creepy, it is predatory, it is narcissism. And first of all, it is full fledged manipulation in service of all of these desires of yours. Remember, this is the goddess. I just want to think.
Up on the screen. But yeah, all that to say, it never ends well. Really happy that so far I have seen Brittany be very skeptical of
Which completely makes this video irrelevant.
him and hold out for that physical connection with him.
So she is not giving physical connection to him. So why he should give physical connection to her? Remember, she was complaining about not getting the man not giving physical affection to her, or physical attention to her, or a physical connection to having a physical connection with her. But now she's saying that this woman, so she's praising this woman for not being physical with that man, but she's attacking that man for not being physical with her. Can you remember? This is worse than rape. It's literally, it is not just having this rapey mindset. It's literally saying that it is good only in one case. If I withhold physical connection, it is a great thing. If you withhold physical connection, you are a bad person. How is this not giving you rapey vibes? Worse than rapey vibes. Because how often you have seen a person who says that the other person who wants a physical connection does not want that on both the sides. Have you ever heard of that person who wants a physical connection on his terms, does not want that on both the sides? It is not a regular occurrence, because people who want physical connection no matter who initiates that. But here, the problem is not this. The problem is about the initiator. So in some cases, physical connection is you should have physical connection. It is a must for a relationship. In other cases, she is good. She is not giving him physical connection. I mean, what to say?
because he's not giving her what she wants. Like she wants.
So basically, because he's not giving her what she wants, she's not giving sex to him. The same is on the other side. Then man is not giving her what she wants, physical connection, like she said, herself said, because she is not giving him what he wants.
Wants to feel a certain way before she does that. And I
Oh, she wants to feel a certain way. Is just justifying her toxicity.
like that she basically verbalized that in her confessional and was like,
So
yeah,
what is the problem?
the next person I do that with, I want to be 100% sure that I'm going to spend the rest of my life with them.
Yeah, this goddess.
And the fact that she hasn't yet is giving me a lot of hope that she will hopefully abandon ship and quickly. Because there's honestly nothing worse than like gaslighting yourself into having attraction for a man that you're not really attracted.
If she's not attracted to, but she's gaslighting herself to be attracted to that man, she is the problem. You have to ask why she wants to be attracted to that man. Why she's faking her own emotional state. How is she not a predator? Let's not watch the video further. If you want, you can come here and watch. This is the title of this video. Now let us go and look at the comments. I will not spend much time there. Either they try to pull you down, which means that there's already a hierarchy, or use you to rise up and then leave standard woman behavior. Living with an insecure man will drain your souls, and you will lose yourself. Then you should not live with an insecure man. And if they withhold affection, it's very easy to point out who is the insecure person. This is a woman complaining. Remember, one side complaining about in marriage to another person. Yeah, sure. I don't think I ever met a secure man for real. But she just talked about a secure man. I mean, hilarious. This happened to me with my ex. I remember I always had to ask for simple affection. I even sat in it, did my makeup and hair, and put on a nice outfit. Wait a minute. Makeup, hair, nice outfit. Does that mean, is that a signal? Is that a yes? I mean, just did she just accept that makeup, hair, and a nice outfit is a yes? Notice, women say that even if I'm dressed sluttily, it is not a consent. Here, she's doing the makeup, hair, and putting on a nice outfit. And she says, I wanted affection. If she wanted affection, she could have asked for it. She says, I asked for it, but then she does not give an example of asking for it. She gives an example where women explicitly say that yeah, all of these things don't mean that the man has been granted consent to even touch them. You see? So, in one place, it's a horrible thing. In the second place, they do it themselves. They believe that this is consent, but they lie that this is consent at other places and punishment with rape accusations and jail time. If she believes that this is nothing of this is consent, then why is she even mentioning this? Simple affection. This is my husband to a T. Stephen is accused of SA. Yeah, surely that is something that we will consider. Accusations by women. So all of this is women complaining about men, and that is not a problem. I don't even mind women complaining about men. Problem is something else. Problem is that this whole video does not make any sense. If someone is withholding affection from you, and no, women argue that they can withhold affection even during marriage. But if someone is withholding affection from you, it is very clear. It's, for example, the best way you can realize that you should not be in relationship with them. So that person is not faking. If that person is not faking and he's not interested in you, whatever be the reason, you don't be interested in that person unless you have your own axe to grind. Who is the predator there? You think that all of these women who are agreeing with this, they don't show the signs of a predatory behavior? Remember, it is literally predatory to say that nice outfit does not equal to consent and then sit in nice outfit and want men to take the first step to initiate touch. It is literally, I can tell you, in my mind, if you ask me, it is worse than rape. But let's end this video here and let's go back. Let's leave this here only. Probably in some other video, I'll talk about why women feel these things. So let's end this video. Goodbye.